I can't believe this. Did they even try to make this a good movie? Hey, welcome back to Faithful Film Fanatic, where today we are going to review Matrix Revolutions. Matrix Revolutions was awful. Awful, awful, awful. So many unnecessary scenes, so boring, slow. It was by far the worst out of the trilogy. I remember seeing this movie as a kid, and I remember thinking it was so good. I remember thinking that the final fight scene between Neo and Mr. Smith was so epic. Here I go again, watching this again after seeing the first and second one again, and I was just so disappointed. It was not at all as epic as I had imagined in my head. The first and second one had way more epic fights than this entire movie did. There are some cool things about this movie, like the lightning when Neo and Smith fight resembles the wings of a devil going out of Smith, with the idea of the film being that Neo is Jesus Christ. This presents an idea that this is a fight between Christ and devil for the sake of the world. So that's kind of cool that they tried doing that, but eh. One interesting thing, though, I kind of was like, what the heck about was Keanu Reeves earned $400,000 for every minute of screen time. Like, he got paid $15 million for this movie. Dang. But one thing I did like about this movie, just like with the other one, was even though the action in this movie was not all that well, like the first two, which was very disappointing. That's what I think of when I think of the Matrix, the action. Agent Smith still had some pretty good lines in this movie, and by far Agent Smith is my favorite character in the whole trilogy. One of my favorite lines of this movie is this one. Why, Mr. Anderson? Why? Why do you do it? Why get up? Why keep fighting? Do you believe you're fighting for something? For more than your survival? Can you tell me what it is? Do you even know? Is it freedom or truth? Perhaps peace? Could it be for love? Illusions, Mr. Anderson. Vagaries of perception. Temporary constructs of a feeble human intellect trying to desperately to justify an existence that is without meaning or purpose, and all of them as artificial as the Matrix itself. Although only a human mind can invent something as insipid as love. You must be able to see it, Mr. Anderson. You must know it by now. You can't win. It's pointless to keep fighting. Why, Mr. Anderson? Why? Why do you persist? So, the Wachowskis wrote some great lines for Mr. Smith. This movie, it totally changed his objectives between the end of the first Matrix movie and the beginning of the second one. In the end of the first one, it seemed like they were going to get rid of the Matrix and free everyone. In the second and third, it seemed like they were trying to save Zion, and then the Matrix was just some unimportant storyline. The perfect word to describe this movie is messy. Everything would have had more sense, made more sense, even with the unresolved plot lines, had they just sticked with the first Matrix movie, and left us hanging. Quit while you're ahead, the old saying goes. If only the Wachowski brothers had done that. They, that was all the storyline for this, was them trying to save Xeon. And the first, hour of the movie was just the same fight sequences over and over and over again. It was just so boring to watch. It had, it had great actors. Lawrence Fishburne from 1991's Class Action and Boys in the Hood. Carrie Ann Moss from 1999 New Blood, and 2000 The Crew. It's got Jada Pinkett Smith from 1996, Nutty Professor in 1996 set it off. Sorry. Keanu Reeves from 1988, Night Before, 1988 Permanent Record. Then Hugo Reevening from 1993, The Custodian, and 1994, The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend watching the third one unless you won't be disappointed. And to be quite honest with you, I'm not even that forward to see the fourth one. I might watch it, but I don't have very high hopes for it.